You never really stop to think about it, but good advertisement can really sell a game. Such is the case with Bomberman64. If I didn't see its commercial where people were randomly getting bombs, I probably would have missed it. It also helped that it was kinda catchy, even if it was ripping off the Spider-Man theme. The story begins with this group that's going from planet to planet, sucking up the planet's energy and transferring it to the Omnicube to gain more power, and their next target looks familiar. They descend and begin to mark their territory. Bomberman is ready to stop them until a mysterious character known as Cyrus tells you that he's after them too, and he can help you defeat them. You won't be able to get to the main base right away as it's protected by a shield, but if you can destroy the anchors of the 4 worlds that act as its barrier, then the shield will be disabled, and you can take care of the invaders directly. Bomberman64 plays as an action puzzle game using bombs as your only way to attack and to reach areas. Bomberman only has a few abilities and never learns anything beyond what you already have at the beginning. As you would guess, everything has to do with bombs. Lay bombs, kick bombs, throw bombs, pick one up and tap A as fast as you can to turn it into a pumped up bomb. Though no matter how fast you go, you'll never be able to beat the computer. They really know how to make you look bad, don't they? If you make an enemy dizzy, you can pick them up and toss them to their death. If you yourself become dizzy, rotate the control stick as fast as you can to get out of it. The C buttons allow you to rotate the camera angle so you can get a better view for your surroundings. Finally, if you line up bombs over a ledge and fall off of it, you'll do a bomb bounce, which can be completely unpredictable at times and is strongly recommended that you practice using it. Bomberman can increase the number of bombs he can use at a time as well as their power and range. The bomb item lets Bomberman lay out another bomb. You start off with only 2 at a time, and the most you can lay is 8. The fire item increases the range and power of a bomb's explosion. Your starting level is 1, and the highest is 3. Collecting 100 of these gems gets you an extra life, which is kind of pointless in this game since the only penalty for getting a game over is just restarting the level all over again. The 3 most useful items by far are the hearts that let you take a hit, the remote bombs that blow up when you want them to, then there's the power bomb. Yeah, it's essentially the exact same thing, only they don't cover up the entire screen. However, your power level goes back to 1 after collecting the power bombs, and the remote and power bombs do not carry over to the next level. Each world is split up into 4 different stages. The first and third parts of the world are about finding the goal, which are these green arrows, and the second and fourth parts are fighting other Bombermen with special abilities or large bosses. You're free to go to any of the 4 worlds first, but it's best recommended to go to Green Garden first. Here you'll have to obtain these large gems in order to clear the area, but getting them is another story. Blue Resort has lots of giant cannons, bridges, and is filled with water that kills Bomberman on impact. Red Mountain has you trying to find the right path to take and watching out for incoming volcanic eruptions. Finally, White Glacier has you racing against the blizzards that can blow you off the map. And the third part has you on slippery slopes where in certain areas the camera pans under the floor, making it difficult to move around on. After you take care of the 4 worlds, you'll be able to enter the Black Fortress, where you watch out for traffic, fight a war machine, go up and down platforms watching out for traps, and then take care of the guy who showed up unannounced, lasers ablazing.
You wanna fight me?
The levels might look large, and areas with branching paths would make you wish you had a map, but it's really nothing to worry about since you'll find the exit anyway. In fact, there's some secret locations you might discover, as well as 2 items you can find by exploring the areas, so if you like to look around, it can pay off. One item you can collect are these balloons in the normal levels that give you costumes for the multiplayer mode, which I'll go over in a little bit. The other item are these gold cards that I always thought were bars, and there's 5 in every stage. 3 cards are hidden in the normal stages, and 1 is collected by killing 30 enemies, and the last one is by beating the time limit. The sub-bosses and bosses have different challenges. Unlike the cards in the regular levels, to collect all 5 cards, you must do them at once. You cannot get 4 and get the other one by itself later. Collecting all of them gets you a special reward. You can unlock a secret world, and if you can collect the gold cards from there, you'll unlock 3 special rewards. There's full power, giving you everything you could want, except a heart, 4 more levels in the battle mode, and if you beat hard mode under 3 hours with all 120 gold cards, you'll get the gold costume, who I unoriginally named Gold Cop even though I've never seen RoboCop. Now I'll finally talk about the battle mode, which is one of the more famous elements of the Bomberman series. You and 3 other people trying to kill each other with bombs in a short space is always a pleasure. Even better is when time is running out and all heck breaks loose. You can get the same power-ups as you would in the game, but there are 2 power-ups exclusive to battle mode. The skull, and the item known as Evil. They can either help you or ultimately destroy you. There's another mode where you can play in teams and try to destroy the other team's gems, but ultimately free-for-all is better. And if you die, you can become a ghost to control the other players and try to kill them with their own, hands, I guess. If you collected the costume pieces in the normal game, you can equip them to Bomberman during the battle mode. However, there's just two things. One, they don't really do anything except give them a little victory sound at the end. And two, I don't know what the problem is, but whenever I try to do it on mine, I usually get an error. You have to have a memory card, and mine would sometimes give me problems. But it is kind of fun to mix and match the costume parts. If I had to draw up any negatives for this game, it would be that with the exception of the heart, there is no health system. One hit, you died, and since your only defense is explosives, you'll find that you're killing yourself more than anything else in this game will. Boss fights felt a bit too easy. Yeah, they look intimidating and even cool, but they give you remote bombs at the start of the fight, making it too easy to blow them apart. Getting the gold cards might be a bit more challenging, but even then it's not that hard once you know what you have to do to get them. The Bomberman fights are more challenging since they can be pretty difficult to hit sometimes and have their own special attacks. Speaking of which, I used to think Artemis' death would be painful, and then you look at Orion who's trapped inside an exploding robot sinking into lava. I can only imagine what's going through his mind.
You'll see!
Man, I bet if Anakin ever saw that, he'd think he got off pretty lucky. Graphics weren't exactly a wow factor in this game. I used to think they looked great, but they really do look pretty basic. The lava flowing up is a nice touch, but why does the rest of it look so stiff? Overall, they're not that bad, not that good either, and the bomb bounces could have been set up better. One thing I've always kind of questioned is why did they decide to use the memory card and option out of using the Rumble Pack? And even if you have a memory card, it's not a big deal to have it for this game. I think using the Rumble Pack for the explosions in this game would have been a better feature. All in all, Bomberman64 is one of my favorite games on the N64. I had no, I want to avoid that lame pun. A rather enjoyable experience. After all, who wouldn't like being able to solve all their problems by just blowing them up? Open a door, kill a bug, clean your room, etc, etc. On a side note, it's always bugged me that I never knew who the person was on the side of the box, and then I found out it was a secret boss after collecting 100 gold cards, which is something else I have to bring up. Spoiler warning, turn down the volume until the warning is gone if you don't want it to be spoiled. When I learned that Cyrus was just using you and then tried to destroy you and your entire planet, that was the first time I ever felt so angry at what I just witnessed during a video game story. To see this really cool looking character helping you out throughout your journey, and then just suddenly betray you? I had never felt this angry at a video game character before. Needless to say, it was a very memorable experience, and so was the concept of revenge. A good soundtrack, interesting use of bomb puzzles, and the multiplayer mode made this a solid game for me. A 4 out of 5. A couple of flaws, but overall a good game.